Caloocan contained the #1 guy of Pampanga, that is Justin Balti Baltazar. And the one that actually went up against him in the jump ball is what they need, some youth on their front line.
Yeah, and also Junjun Bonsubre is no stranger to going up against Balti Baltazar. These two went up against each other in the collegiate ranks, and right away he delivers with the first basket.
Turnover on the other end. Balti's on the run. 2-on-2 action. Archie Concepcion is fouled.
We're seeing here in the early goings of the game 1.
Now, why don't we take this time to listen in to Javi Palanya with his keys to victories for Pampanga.
Taking advantage of the experience of their bigs in the post area. Number 3 is limit Caloocan to 1-and-done possessions. If they have been able to crash the offensive glass against Balti Baltazar, the whole Caloocan Batang Kankalu should do against this whole Giant Lantern squad. Have to be able to stymie the production and not let Pampanga take advantage of their athleticism. This
expectations. That's now, it is 4-3, turnover forced. Jun Bonsubre, oh, he's off to a good start.
2 baskets already here in the first quarter.
Jun Bonsubre is playing sick today. He's not 100%, and yet he's off to a great start as JLC answers back.
Frontline as well, pwede nilang gamitin yung mga fouls sila in bringing the physicality to this very talented Pampanga frontline.
Ooh, a 3-pointer coming in from MJ Garcia, much to the delight of the Pampanga crowd.
Much Pampangueños here in the venue, and MJ Garcia, ayaw niya rin pahiyain ng mga fans sa Pampanga na tumipon dito sa Palayan City just to see him play. And then Rael Cervantes answers back with a 3 of his own.
Almost halfway done in the opening quarter of game number 2. Baltazar goes to Archie, our reigning homegrown player of the year. The pull-up and the make.
That's already 3 points in the game para kay Archie Concepcion.
Each and everyone has to contribute dahil sila rin ang mag-uuwi nito sa kanilang mga pamilya. In this game, they need to anticipate the defense na hinanda ng Caloocan. They for sure are not taking this lightly, Mix and Javi.
That's a nice report from Sidney Crespo as Jun Bonsubre scored and recovered by Real. 3-pointer. That's short. Rebound Encho. Forward pass. Neil Tolentino. 2-on-2. They go to Balti. That's good.
That should have been a lift against Neil Tolentino.
Have as their signatures. And here's Paul Sanga with the steal. The feed to Jenimer. And that's basket and 1.
2-on-1 fast break.
Second round with Bacolod just last year. That's why his goal is to at least reach the North Division Finals. Binuya will now go to Balti. 4 on the shot clock. Balti will turn around. Again, the one-hander.
This is the first time in the series that I've seen it storming.
Pampanga led after 24-11 in game number 1. Palencia on the run. Nice feed to Paul Sanga.
Excellent delivery right there by Irvin Palencia. That running the floor here in the first quarter. That's the second time that we've seen him run on the break.
Encho left wide open and he ties the ball game.
This is going to be
Paul Sanga off of the cross. You have 11 to work with. Not much of a differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Gabby Espinas, he will score.
That's too easy. Face-up action in the low block against Mante Lozano.
Number 3 back in Pampanga this coming Monday.
Your shots in an efficient manner, as you mentioned. Second, you've been able to keep Pampanga below their efficiency rate. But Eche Serrano does have something to say about that in terms of outside shooting. That's
will translate tonight. Back to you guys.
You can really sense the pride of Coach Robert Season in the statements that he gave to Sidney Crespo as Shoko Tayongtong scores inside. And for you, the Giant Lanterns, that's a big testament of your squad.
That's how much he trusts his boys. And Jacob Galicia answering the call right away. Kakapasok pa lamang niya sa laro na to.
The regular season, maraming beses na rin naman na sila yung nasa huli. They were trailing up until the 4th quarter. Some comebacks as well made by the Lanterns. This isn't too hard for them, or this shouldn't be too hard. The Prince Casin scored
again on the set by the Batang Kankalu. Gabby Espinas locating Casin on the baseline cut.
Luis Sangalang, that's his strong side. Pampanga's down by 1. 4 minutes gone by in the second. MJ will fire again. That's short. Rebound Balti. That's an easy one.
Well, MJ Garcia, I'll tell you, he's not been shy to hoist it up from the outside.
And the San Juan Knights. We are in Palayan City for Caloocan versus Pampanga. Mac Baracael versus Arwin Santos. FEU versus FEU. Mac Baracael scores.
And the legendary Arwin Santos on that matchup. Baracael has been a late substitution in this game compared to game 1 where he started for the Batang Kangalu, as Baltasar has been starting to get on a roll here in the second quarter. Defense of Jeremy Cabanag.
Baracael again. This time he pulls up and makes that three-pointer.
Outside of those 2 possessions where Cabanag and Tayongtong took rush shots for the Batang Kangalu, whenever they went to Mac Baracael on those 2 isolation plays on the right side, they were able to score.
It's now 32-all. Inigo will go to Baracael. Again, against Arwind. Mac just really challenging his senior. Turnaround shot. Oh my goodness! What a clinic by Mac Baracael.
Wow, it Coach Robert season.
Santos, the fake, the drive, and the turnover. Achi Inigo with numbers. Achi to Paul Sanga with the finish.
We haven't seen Paul Sanga hit his stride from the good decisions. A couple of baskets on the break and also a setup earlier in the first quarter.
Oh, that's a nice counter on the other end. John Lloyd Clemente with a three-pointer. Silencio, who averaged 11.7 rebounds per game for Muntinlupa. Here's the play drawn up by Coach Robert. And that's a conversion by Paul Sanga. 6 seconds. Balti Baltazar against John Lee Balin. Encho Serrano with 2 threes to his name. Going to MJ. His three-pointer is good! Launching from downtown. The score at halftime is 42-38 in game number 2. Knights and the Vanguards. As now we begin the second half. That's a good look. Cervantes from downtown.
You see Paul Sanga, he already knew that Real Cervantes was going to be able to knock that down, flashing the 3 sign with both hands after he made that pass.
It's now 42-41. JLC, that's his spot.
And now this is a guy that Caloocan first half, he continues to be in that kind of role here for the Giant Lanterns to start the third quarter with that 3-point shot.
In the first half, you asked everybody to not forget about the scoring abilities of JLC as JL Cervantes scores inside. Remember, NU Bulldogs in the UAAP. As Serrano bounces, Balti will finish.
That's too easy. How many times have we seen that have Encho Serrano and Justin Balti Baltazar involved in the 2-man game? Great pocket pass by Encho, finding Baltazar on the roll. But what about Caloocan coming out of the locker rooms on the effort, giving Balti Baltazar another opportunity in the offensive glass, but good defensive stance by Junjun Bonsubre that leads to another 3-pointer here for Real Cervantes.
47-49. Encho Serrano, 2-man game. Serrano drives. Serrano, basket and 1.
I think this is also the time that Serrano...
Now we go back to the keys to victory for the Pampanga Giant Lanterns.
And number 1, rev up your first half. Number 2, you shall not pass. We talked about how they shouldn't let Caloocan set up in the half court because that is one of the strengths of the Batang Kangalu. They haven't been able to do the mark on that just because they were still out-rebounded by 4 in the first half, but still a better job compared to the first half of game 1. Lastly, as we see another 3-point shot there, lantern of the Pampanga squad, because Balti Baltazar was able to score 8 points in that first half.
Here's Balti, feed inside. Nice escape, you mentioned, even though this time around he gets double-teamed by Caloocan. A luxury for the Giant Lanterns. A miss there by Bonsubre. Forward pass. 2-on-1. Bajío will finish.
Not as productive as he was in the first half of game 1, but...
Here's MJ Garcia. He drives. MJ escapes.
Atrocious defense there. Careful as well.
Barakael, nice fake. He just got Bahia flying, and Mac Barakael scores.
But at least on the offensive side of things, these Pampanga guards have certainly been not afraid to shoot from the outside.
Tayong Tong saw an opening, and he exploited it.
That's one of the strengths of Joko Tayong Tong.
The chance now for Caloocan to regain the lead. Paul Sanga, he catches, he fires, and scores.
Wow, 3-point shooting here in the
64 all, give and go. Paul Sanga, in and out. Ball tapped and recovered by Pampanga. Archie on the run. Concepcion will fly up and under with some magic in the air. 6-64 as we end the third quarter. Tough turnaround. That's too strong. And Caloocan's on the run. Joko Tayong Tong, one man to beat. Tayong Tong will score.
Nothing much Raymond Binuea could have done in that play. That's a great.
Encho goes to Binuya. Now on to Balti against Real Cervantes. Balti escapes. 2+1. Matias against Balti. Tough reverse. Numbers for Pampanga. Garcia to Encho. Serrano. Lefty layup.
Very dangerous when you gamble for Pampanga. They could have rotated the ball further.
Cervantes for the tie. Yes, sir.
What about Real Cervantes really delivering here in this game para dito sa Caloocan Batang Kankalu. A starter here in this match.
8 deadlocks. Now it's broken up as Encho Serrano just answered back with his
Trip that Caloocan wanted in that recycle after the offensive rebound by Matias.
sorry miss. 2 sorry misses, but there's the putback by Balti Baltazar.
That's a problem when you go up against a team as talented.
Has complete momentum now in the fourth quarter. They're up by 5. Almost halfway done in this frame. Baltazar on the pick and roll. Basket and one.
Sanga.
Serrano, 2-man game. Encho spins his way. That's his favorite.
Indeed. And ironically, we haven't seen that move in a while.
Mac Barakael on the ISO. That's no good. Forward pass. Encho, 1-on-1 action. He has a trailer. And Bahia will finish.
At Caloocan, 18 points already, plus a lot of timely baskets.
Now that's a timely basket by Jennifer Cabanag. Caloocan is still fighting for a chance.
Mamig dito in the fourth. Cabanag, Sanga, all of these guys unable to hit the mark, even Real Cervantes.
2-man game. They pass to the right. MJ for 3. Bombs away.
MJ
Scoring in this quarter, 21-10. Basically, that's the difference of this game. Only 2 points separating these two in the third. Another signature spin by Encho Serrano.
They haven't really been running anything special. It's just that the two guys running the 2-man game are very special.
Tayong Tong made a 2-pointer on the other end. Time is running out of the North Division Finals. Will happen Saturday next week. That's November 11. As Encho Serrano scores inside.
He's just simply putting the finishing.
And the rest of Caloocan Batang Kankalu for giving us a wonderful campaign in the 5th season of the Mpbl. But we have to congratulate ultimately our player of the game, brought to you by Nexus 88 Gaming. At some point, it was Balti Baltazar, but this guy in the last minutes of the game just put it away for Pampanga.
Yeah, he really closed out this matchup para sa Giant Lanterns. Put on the finishing touches for his squad, making up for his subpar performance in Game 1 where he only scored 9 points. Made sure that he put on the necessary production. You know, if you're the star player of your squad, you can be good for just 9 points and expect to close out the series against a talented team like Calaocan. And Encho Serrano just made sure that he would be able to do everything that he could in his power.